Morning, everybody, or good afternoon, I should say. This is the first of four little review of chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to do you in a recorded, what I would have done if we had had class today, Tuesday, where as of right now, I'm assuming college is going to be reopened on Wednesday, and then we're going to have our exam on Thursday. Remember, for the exam, the in-class part is 30 multiple choice questions. And then the take-home part, which I posted for you over the weekend, is you got to download it. You got to print up, hand that in on Thursday. If you don't have the take-home part of your exam to hand in with your name at the top of it, then you get a 0 for the exam. That's basically, I can't make it any more straightforward. That you must hand in the take-home part of the exam on Thursday. Okay, so there's going to be 4 little mini lectures. This one will be a little bit longer than the next 3 because I want to go over a couple of things that relates to all the chapters. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen. And hopefully you're seeing this. Yep, there you are. Okay, so when you go to the content, you click on content, you're going to see something that looks like this. I call your attention to the left-hand side. Well, all these things here you're familiar with. The order may have changed a little bit. I try to simplify things. My experience with having taught this course for a while is that people they do very well on the take-home part, they tend to struggle on the multiple choice. So I want to remind you that there are practice multiple choice questions here. You click on here. You can do the practice multiple choice questions for chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. Those are the chapters that are on the first exam. I've added a new segment here called key slides. And what I did is for each chapter, I pulled out the most important slides, and those slides will be especially helpful to you on the take-home part of the exam. You know about the Cengame materials, and you know about the Cengame materials that in there you also have the study guide exam prep, otherwise known as the adaptive exercises for each chapter, which will help you. So I strongly recommend you play around with those. Then you're going to have videos, and the videos right now it shows the number 2, but by the time you get this will have expanded, and because I'm going to add 4 more little videos to this, and that's the review video for chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. And here's where you find the take-home part of your exam. If you haven't done this already, please print it out. And again, you need to hand in on Thursday the take-home part of your exam, no exceptions. All right, so now what I want to do, I'm going to share again, and I'm going to, if I can find it, yep, here we go. So I pulled out for each chapter, in some cases it's 1 slide, in chapter 1 it's 3 slides. So, and I believe I may have 1 or 2 of these things I've actually handed out to you before, but I'm putting it here and make it easy for you. So here's the difference between a manufacturer and a retailer. So a retailer, so when you studied Financial Accounting 1, you did service enterprises and you did retailers. They have 1 item of inventory on the balance sheet. But when you have a manufacturer, the manufacturer has got 3 components of inventory on the balance sheet: raw materials, work in process, and finished goods. So you've got 3 separate inventory accounts for a manufacturer. You only have 1 for a retailer. For a retail business, when you do the income statement, you're going to have the cost of goods sold, and cost of goods sold is beginning inventory plus purchases gives us inventory available minus ending inventory gives you cost of goods sold. Subtract cost of goods sold from sales and you get gross profit. For a manufacturing business, when you do the income statement, it's beginning inventory plus cost of goods manufactured gives us finished goods available for sale minus ending inventory of finished goods will give you the cost of goods sold. Right? So remember, if you're asked to do, which I think you are on the take-home part of the exam, an income statement for a manufacturer, this is the sections. And to do that, you've got to also prepare a schedule of cost of goods manufactured. And the schedule of cost of goods manufactured is a whole schedule in itself. So take a look at the bottom here. There is your cost of goods manufactured. I recommend you use a 3-column format. You start with the beginning work in process inventory. Then you have to figure out, and it's somewhat complicated, what you have to do with inventory of materials. The actual materials not purchased during the period, but used during the periods. So that's the cost of materials used, plus the direct labor, plus the factory overhead. Factory overhead, and that'll give you the manufacturing costs from this period. Add those to the beginning work in process, Then you subtract out the ending work in process, and that'll give you the cost of goods manufactured. Okay, so these slides will be particularly helpful to you on the take-home part of the exam. All right, now what I want to do is I want to take you to the practice multiple choice, which have been there, but we've never actually focused on them. So let me see if I can get those for you. Here we go, practice multiple choice. And let's share practice multiple choice. Okay. So here's what I want you to do now. There are 5 practice multiple choice questions here. I want you to pause the tape and give yourself about 15 minutes and answer these questions without looking at the answers. Okay, well, I'll get to the answers, but we want you to remember what I told you about the wine in Italy. It tasted better because it suffered on the vine. So it's of absolutely no value for you to look at the question and jump right to the answer. Think good and hard about each question. Come up with the answer. Pause the tape here and then come on back. And then I'll walk you through each of the answers. Okay, so go ahead. Take 15 minutes and do these questions, and then come on back, and then I will walk you through the answers. See you in a few minutes. 15 minutes. Pause, go ahead and play with these, and then come on back. Okay, welcome back. I'm going to assume 15 minutes has passed, and it says, which of the following best describes the difference between financial accounting and managerial accounting? Okay, well, we know the big difference is managerial accounting. We prepare specialized reports to help management make decisions, but we got to take a look at each of these, and we got to pick the one that is the best answer. So managerial accounting provides information to support decisions, while financial accounting does not. That's not true. Financial accounting does provide general purpose reports, which are used by management. B, managerial accounting is not restricted to generally accepted accounting principles, while financial accounting is restricted. Well, that one is true. So B looks like the right answer here. C, managerial accounting does not result in financial reports. Well, that's not true. It does. And D, managerial accounting is concerned solely with the future and does not record events from the past. Well, that's not true. So clearly the best answer here, should be B. And that tells you why. Okay, so B, managerial accounting is not restricted to generally accepted, while financial accounting is. So the best answer to 1 is B. 2, which of the following is not one of the 4 basic functions of the management process? So we had four functions. So we had strategic planning, we had evaluation, we had control. So the one that is not is actually D. Operating doesn't appear. The one that is missing from our list was measurement. So 4 functions include planning, measurement, evaluation, and control. So the one that doesn't belong is D, operating. Number 3, which of the following is not considered part of the cost of the product? Well, the cost of a product includes direct materials. It includes factory overhead. It includes direct labor cost. The one that is not included is sales salary. So more generally, the cost of manufacturing product includes materials, labor, and overhead. So direct labor, factory overhead costs is 1, direct materials is 1, and direct labor is 1. So the one that doesn't, which is not considered, would be C, sales salary. Sales salaries are important, but they're not part of the cost of manufacturing. Number 4, which of the following costs would not be included as part of the factory overhead costs for a microcomputer manufacturer? Would be included, I'm sorry, which of the following costs would be included as factory overhead costs for a microcomputer? So looking for factory overhead, those are things that go into the production of the item for a microcomputer that are traced to the item, but are not including, doesn't include materials and doesn't include labor. All right, so the cost of memory chips, that would be part of the materials. Depreciation on testing equipment, well, that sounds like an overhead cost, so I'm going to say B is a good one. Wages of microcomputer assemblies, well, that's direct labor. And D, the cost of disk drives, well, that's material. So the one that would be considered overhead here would be depreciation on testing equipment. So I'm going to assume the correct answer is B, and not surprisingly, that is the correct answer. Right. Number 4, for the month of May, Ladder Company has beginning finished goods inventory of 50,000, ending finished goods inventory of 35, and cost of goods manufactured of 125. What is the cost of goods sold? Well, the cost of goods sold would be the beginning finished goods inventory plus the cost of goods manufactured, which was 125,000, minus the ending finished goods inventory, which is 35. So if you put those all together, I believe I believe that totals 140,000. So I believe the correct answer is C. When you have things like this, always do your calculation first and then go looking for the right answer. And you'll see that it is indeed 140,000. If you click on it, you can see the little schedule there. Beginning inventory plus cost of goods manufactured plus ending inventory gives us cost of goods sold. Okay, so the correct answer there is C. All right, so I hope you found that little review useful, and go on now. If you need additional practice with this, go do more multiple choice questions, do adaptive exercises, and I'll see you again when we do the practice, we do the little review for chapter 2. Au revoir, adios, hasta luego.